Welcome to InSideOut Apparel. We embroider exclusive, custom-made clothing that match your tattoos. I'm Curtin, the founder and head artist who's going to be making your shirt for you. Now, this is a very involved and personalized process, but to get started with your free quote, all you have to do is upload a photo of your tattoo at the form on this page. Let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, man, you're on. Yes.
Hey.
We are back behind the curtain with none other than Curtin. Dude, this is what we like. Our last episode was a good 4 months ago, right? So this would be episode 3
from last year. 28 days later, the empty streets. I don't really read the Dutch news, so I think it was, when was it? I forget which month it was, but there was something in 2020 when I took a train to Amsterdam to my office there, and I got out of the train and the streets were empty. There were like 2 people in the city. I said, "What is happening?" And apparently they had the government had said, "Don't travel unless it's an emergency," or something like this. So I'm one of the only people on the train, one of the only people in the city. And it felt so freaking weird, man. Like it was a movie or something. And then as soon as they lifted the order a few weeks ago, everybody flooded into the restaurants, into the parks. It looked like mayhem. So, and now we're a little bit back. They had to put some rules back in place, but it's been up and down. It's been weird to see how different the world can be, man. Like you kind of take it for granted that people are just going to be there. And it's nice to pet their dogs as they walk by you, or to like overhear their conversations at a restaurant. That's all gone. You just stay in your own head too much. And it's a little bit overwhelming, man.
Yeah,
my head's not a good place for long-term care, you know.
What's it like now though? Do people are there people out and about? So there was a big like a rush, and now they're kind of putting the lockdowns back on. Is that how it is?
Yeah. We pretty much opened, like at clubs, bars, restaurants, inside seating, everything. No more masks at the grocery store or all that. And then after about 3 or 4 weeks, the numbers went up. So they put some restrictions back again. So all the festivals that had started selling tickets had to cancel again. Really hit the summer festival season.
Yes.
But I wasn't an early bird, so I didn't get tickets anyway. They were all already sold out, so I'm not missing anything.
Wow. How's the business then over there?
That's the thing. At least it's given me time to focus on the tattoo shirts. I'm actually had a sponsored tattoo, which is quite interesting. We always used to make fun of people that would get Coca-Cola on their forehead for money, but it finally happened. My company needed video evidence of how you make a shirt, and we wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of getting a tattoo and making a shirt, because the needle goes in.
That's
the
right.
Image is like this. The different colors are used, whether it's ink or thread. The shirt or the skin has to be prepared, has to be clean and flat and all that. So there's lots of similarities. So we made a side-by-side video, but we needed somebody to actually get the tattoo and to make the shirt.
So who's it going to be? There it is. Right. That's the new piece, huh? Very nice.
Yeah. So it was kind of fun to, meet the tattoo artist and say, "Hi, we're doing this for a company. We're going to need you to stop during the tattoo and reposition yourself and look towards the camera and do this and that." It was like directing a film from the table.
I was watching the video that you did, where you're giving your introduction and everything. That it looks very, from the last time we spoke about it, you were just getting it off the ground. So now things seem to be, the ball seems to be rolling, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we so step one, come up with the idea, 2018 in Brazil. Step two, put together a group who's going to run the company, get some prototypes. That was 2019. We also came to Amsterdam to do a soft launch at a tattoo convention before COVID. That was 2019.
Okay.
Moved to the Netherlands. End of 2019, open the company 2020, start to pay taxes, formalize a lot of stuff, get a machine, start production, work out the problems. And then 2021, we finally got serious with our marketing, hired a videographer, you know, got some nice photos of customers who already had shirts that I'd made in 2020. We got them to come out and snap some things. And now we've edited those and we're finally ready to do the big global push. So it's been longer than I expected, but a much shorter journey than some companies take. So
yeah.
I shouldn't feel too upset. But yeah, man, like I think still the hardest part is getting people to understand that this exists, because we're so used to being treated like crap, you know, like, oh, I have to buy the same shirt as 10,000 other people. No, you get your own shirt. Oh, I can get anything I want in the front of my shirt, right? Like, no, you can get it wherever the tattoo is. And they're like, yeah, but that would take a lot of time. I'm like, yes. And I'm the one that puts in the time for you. You know?
Yes. Yeah, it's very customized, right? Because you're only going to be, unless someone is of the nature where they want everybody to be wearing their tattoos, and they buy like 100 shirts and all their 100 friends are wearing their tattoos. It's kind of a very one shirt deal, right? It's just a one-off, very highly customized.
It is, and there's very little benefit of getting another shirt from our side, because we still have to take the time to put it in the same machine, and it's not like a computer is just running this flawlessly. I have to, you know, maneuver and kind of take care of each corner and each little problem area, and the lineup. Lining everything up is probably the hardest part. So if somebody wants 100 shirts, it's almost the same amount of work as me doing 100 different shirts one time each, almost.
I see.
Yeah, we're just trying to right now focus on the people who like the idea. I don't think. I mean, I used to have some other companies, and I didn't like forcing my stuff on people. Look, if you don't want it, don't buy it, man. There's plenty of things to spend your money on out there that make you happy.
Yes.
My only point of doing this company is to offer something new that does not exist. And if people like it, hey, now you can buy it. You know, it's like,
I see.
So yeah, it's my job to try to show people what it is, try to tell them how the process works, because I remember people in Japan, people in Korea, people in China who had jobs where tattoos were not accepted, and they had a sleeve or something. Well, you can wear a collared shirt, a collared long sleeve shirt to your office, and you can have an embroidered dragon on your sleeve. Everyone, but you won't be fired because it's just embroidery. And you can tell people, hey, man, this is my tattoo underneath my shirt. Or you can just do it for yourself, you know. And I think we have lots of different kinds of customers who buy these things for different reasons. But it's always a pleasure to work on someone else's artwork. You know, someone put money into their ink, and then they send it to me to convert into these stitching files. So I sit down with my pen and I'm drawing their tattoo, changing the details to make it suitable. And I really feel like I'm part of the process. It's not just, stamp, print, forget about you. It takes a lot of hours. So
wow. So How does it start then? Like with someone, like say for example, with myself, with my tattoos, if I were just to say, like, do you have a limit on the number of tattoos you do on one shirt? Like, because some people have a
No.
lot of ink, right? Like you
Yeah,
have the,
yeah,
you know, Yakuza comes up to you, you got your work cut out for you, right? Like, oh, I
I
got
don't
a
want to
full back.
restrict. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to restrict anybody. I want it to be their choice. So with certain shirts, they'll be much more complicated than other shirts. And there's lots of little issues that people don't realize could be a problem until they start working with us. For example, here's a shirt,
Okay.
and we've got 5 pieces on this. There's one on the chest, there's one on the shoulder, there's some on the stomach down here.
Gotcha.
But let's say, for example, you have something in your armpit, right?
Mhm.
It goes all the way around. Well, guess what, buddy? The shirt has a lot more fabric than you have skin in the armpit area because it has to leave space, right? It's not skin tight. Same thing with the wrist, right? The human arm, usually the wrist is smaller than the elbow area or up in the bicep. But a lot of shirts are fairly straight. There's
Okay.
actually not much tapering. So if you have a tattoo that's really tight around the wrist, a lot of details, and then it kind of spreads out, well, we're going to have to kind of discuss with each specific person, how do you want that to be on this shirt? We have the measurements of the shirt, you have the measurements of your wrist, and we have to do kind of ratios all along the way to make it fit. Or else you get these huge gaps, right? You don't want to, like if you get like a clock, some people have 1 through 12 or something like that. You don't want there to be a huge gap between 12 and 1 because of the measurements. You want it to look, like a scaled version that fits on the shirt. So this is where I come in, and I have to design everything for the shirt based on the photos of the tattoo. So the way that people would start out is just by sending me their photos of their bodies with the tattoos on our website. So that kind of kicks the ball down the hill, and everything goes from there.
Okay. But I mean, if someone's going to send you their ink work, right, and you need to review it, do they pay for that? Do they initially pay for that, or do they only when you send them the quote?
Yeah, exactly. Everything's free up until I send you the quotes, because each shirt is different price depending on location, size, number of tattoos, and everything.
I see.
And once somebody gets a quote, then they can decide: do I want to pay for this, or do I not want this? And that's the payment. So everything before that is my time, just trying to help people out and say, hey, I'm making a couple shirts today, but I spent an hour looking at your images, and I've looked at a few things, and I think it's going to be like this. What do you think? So my day is kind of split between production, dealing with the customer's communication, and then some marketing things. So yeah, it's a bit hectic. I can't wait till we grow a bit and we can get some more colleagues, because I'd like some friends to do this with me.
Yeah, because that initial process where you're sort of assessing where the image is going to go on the shirt, that is something I'm sure if someone trained to do it, they would, and then you could start, just getting orders and putting out quotes, right? And the quote,
I'd have to teach people kind of everything I've learned in the last couple of years, which shouldn't take more than a day or two, if I taught it correctly. And then, we could even have categories, like, oh, you have something wraps around the entire waist. Okay, it's about this price. You have something on the shoulder. It's about this price. I see that coming in.
Yeah, because you could even have cheaper options too, where there's a tattoo that is just, you could just say, oh, I just want the outline. I don't want all
Yeah.
the detail. And then you could say,
Yeah.
no, I literally want like the shading, the you know, everything, you know, the guy's,
Right.
the face, the features, everything. So you could have that. You could just say, oh, no, just give me the outline. I got so many tattoos, I'll just go outline. Like I saw the one on your shirt there. That's just an outline, right? It's just the framed outline.
Yeah, and we have people that say that they'll get a flaming skull tattoo, but on the shirt they just want an outline of the skull, and then they want the flames in purple, but on their body the whole thing is black white, right? Just the black ink. So they can play with the colors of the thread, you know, purple flames with green. Yeah, why not? But they say, I don't need all the detail on the skull because I want to focus on the flames. So it gives you another chance to kind of tweak your image again.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you just want a photo of your tattoo, yeah, there's lots of places that can make, I don't know, like a printed canvas of your tattoo. That's fine. We're here to work with you to make an embroidered shirt that you want. So yeah, if you want outlines, if you want details, if you want to make the tattoo bigger or smaller, yeah, we can do that too. Like that, we do whatever you want, pretty much.
Nice.
So that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
You know, it's just people being creative and saying, I got this tattoo 21 years ago. It's great, but I kind of wish she was holding this. I was like, yeah, she can. Like, tell me what you want her to hold. I'll draw it. You know, I'll sketch it out.
Nice. Yeah, because you could even have like, it could even be a in a sense, it's like touch-up work. If someone's like, oh, I wish this tattoo, you could say you can buy 4 different shirts that all have that tattoo just how you wish you had it, you know, because you got it when you were so young. That's good.
I don't think she's watching. Maybe she is, but there's a prank we're pulling on a woman in Brazil. So this woman dated my friend for about 7-8 years.
All right.
And she ended up getting his name tattooed on her stomach next to another tattoo. And when they broke up, she had his name covered with some other work. Okay. So my friend told her about my company, and she said, oh, you know, like, yeah, let's, you know, maybe I'll get a shirt. So instead of me stitching the tattoo that she currently has, the cover, he has an old photo from years ago of the tattoo with his name, and I'm going to do his name. And she's going to have no idea how I knew that, you know, that this was the old tattoo.
That's good. That's a good one. That's
just
good.
In case she doesn't like it, we'll do another shirt with the regular one. But yeah, it is quite fun, right? It's like you're
unique. So unique.
And because of the shirt quality, it's a little bit of fashion as well. Whereas you go to the gym, you have a decent body, that's cool. But for most people, they're not happy with their bodies. They're like, oh, my skin is too pale, it's too dark, it's too spotty, it's flabby, it's whatever the problem, too much hair, asymmetrical. But that's where you have to get the tattoo. Well, with the shirts, if you say, hey, I want to feel good, I want to wear a button down dress shirt with a you know, flyaway collar, I want this and this, yeah, we can get you one of those shirts. If you just want a t-shirt that you can wear to the park or the gym, we can get you a t-shirt. So you don't have the choice of changing your skin at the tattoo parlor, but with us, you do have the choice of changing your shirt. So it can kind of give a new life to the tattoo, depending on what kind of shirt you go with. Hoodies, for example, very relaxed, kind of casual. And like I said, the button downs, very formal. You know, you can tuck it in, wear it with some slacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Classy, right? And
it's been fun, man. Like it's
some cool design.
Like we're gonna get more customization in the future. Shoes, you know, what kind of credit card you want. You know, when I was growing up, you could you could choose like, do you want a blue credit card or a purple credit card? And that was a big deal. You know, now people can take their own photos. You know, people cut their own hair, people dye their hair different colors, and there's going to be more and more customization in the future. So hopefully this is just another step forward.
Yes.
And I hope I'm not the only company. You know, I welcome the competitors to try to help grow this market, because there's plenty of room for many of us out there. But it feels good to be the first.
Yeah, that's right. So how does, with the shirt then, you pick the shirts that the tattoo the embroidered tattoo goes on, or does the customer like have a list of shirts, or or they send a shirt? They could even send a shirt.
Yeah, they can send a shirt if they have a favorite shirt that they already know fits them well, and they want to send it to the Netherlands. I can stitch it on that shirt. We of course have shirts that they can, you know, get from us. If they just have the idea for the tattoo and they say, I want a black long sleeve t-shirt, boom, I got you. What we do is we have the sizes of those shirts here. And when I say sizes, I mean, like, how many centimeters is the wrist? Like all of the sizes. So that way we can ask the customer, hey, measure your wrist. And, you know, oh, it's only this many centimeters. Oh, that means the ratio is 1.1, which means we're going to stretch this a little bit here, a little bit there. That's cool. If we have to use one of their shirts, we'll just wait till it arrives, and then we'll measure the shirt when we get it, kind of work it all out. But there's a lot of back and forth. A lot of back and forth, because we don't want to guess, right? We don't want to, oh, hey, we made you a shirt, I hope it's in the right, you know, location. We want to try to get all that stuff first, and then we can start stitching, because it's a huge waste of time if we have the wrong image or the wrong location or the wrong color, right? And I don't have that time to waste anymore.
So you want to get it all done, like as filled out in like a form online, photos, measurements, the kind of shirt you want, everything done. And then you kind of just look at the photos, and then based on all of that, you can just immediately give a quote. You can kind of,
we tried the form idea. The issue was, because it's a new product, there's so many people unfamiliar with kind of what we're asking. You know, for example, I would say, oh, do you have a tattoo in your armpit region? Or do you have a tattoo that goes to your wrist? And if a person had a tattoo that covered their whole arm and hand, they would say, no, it doesn't go to my wrist. It goes to my fingers. But what I meant was, do you have a tattoo on your wrist? Because we're going to need to measure your wrist. So it turned out it was much easier just for me to communicate with the person directly, because we cannot take 1,000 orders. So we're trying to keep it small, right? Dozen here, a dozen there, so that I do actually have time to look at everybody's artwork, to talk with them, to design their stuff myself. So right now, that's what we're still doing, to make sure it's right. But as soon as we get larger, we're going to have to think of something else, maybe a video form where you just follow the steps in the video and check yes or no. Pretty cool. But we don't need that yet. So we're just going to, you know, hey, I'm Curtin. Nice to meet you. Tell me about your left chest.
That's right. Yes, it's just a one-on-one thing, right? You're like, where is your tattoo? Take a photo of it. Okay, that's a bad photo. Take another photo. No, that's another bad photo. Take another one. Okay, this one's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Now can you take it from this angle? From this angle. All right. Now we got the photos. Now let's talk about colors. These colors that you want to keep the same colors. You're ordered a black shirt, so it's not going to be good to go black. Do you want to go white? No, let me think. I want yellow. All of it yellow? Yeah, I want. Yeah, so it's kind of like this, right?
Exactly. So we did have a monochrome series where we would stitch the same color as the shirt. like black on black or white on white. And that was kind of interesting because from far away, it just looks like a regular shirt. And then when you get closer, when the light kind of hits it, you see something and you're like, what is that? And then when you get close, it looks almost surreal. It looks like the image is kind of coming out of the shirt, right? Because it's the same color. Yeah, it's quite beautiful. Right. So for some people that don't want to show off, that want to just have it for themselves. But yeah, it's the colors have worked really well for people who have, like, let's say a yellow tattoo on white skin. It's really hard to see. So they get like a blue shirt and they do the yellow stitching, or if like a black tattoo on dark skin, you know, oh, it's really good artwork. It's really cool. And it looks good up close, but from far away, you know, you can't see the detail. You can't see this. And it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating.
Yes.
So you get like an orange shirt with purple and you're like, boom. Oh, that's the color of my favorite sports team. And I just got my tattoo in my sports team's color. And now you can see it from across the room. You know, you can see it from across the field. So it gives people the chance to play with the colors that you don't have the option of, right? You're born with one body. And usually, you know, dark tattoo ink is going to be the most common. You're not going to get a whole bunch of white ink or orange or yellow. It's going to be black. So, yeah, you can do an angel and a demon, and the angel can be all light thread and the demon can be dark thread. Like there's so many possibilities where you're kind of limited to studio. So it's been kind of exciting to see people realize what's possible, and then, oh, okay.
Let's go for that. Yeah, I mean, and because you're also doing this remotely, right? You communicating with all your customers remotely, because you're not. I mean, there are obviously people in Amsterdam, I'm sure, that would be keen on it, but the majority are all through the internet. So that makes a 1 hour conversation can turn into, like, 6 hours kind of thing. Emails back and forth, chatting back and forth.
Yeah, the good news is I have had those 1 hour conversations. We try to keep them short. I don't want to waste their time either. But we do have a lot in common. A lot of the customers and I, we chat about life and sports, politics, space travel, everything.
Dude, man, that's so cool.
They really get to know me, which is great, because while I'm making their shirt, if I encounter a problem, right? For example, they want a really tiny detail of a star. And I warn them, hey, with the nature of the threads, the star may end up looking more just like a dot. You may not be able to see the 5 points of something, super tiny. So I'm stitching it. And sure enough, it looks more like a dot than a star. I can call them right away and be like, hey, it's me. I'm on the machine right now. I just got to your star. Here's what it looks like. Send them a photo. I'll say, what do you want me to do? You want me to keep going? You want me to make the star a little bit bigger so you can see the star? And it's really cool, because many times we receive a product from a company. We don't like it. We send it back. But wouldn't it be better if the company called you and said, hey, we're going to do it this way? And you're like, no, don't do it like that. Oh, okay. How do you want it? I want it like this. And they send it to you right the first time.
Yes.
I would love it. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're trying. But we do have some customers here in the Netherlands who I have met, and it was much easier just to measure them. And I don't have to ask any questions, because I can see their body. So I answer the questions myself.
I see. Yeah, you got it's just very high level customization, real white glove service, And I can see if it went growing, you just need more people that just do these different aspects, right? That are able to get on the phone. You know what you could do, man? You could do a Zoom call with all your customers, right? And you could record each of these calls and string them together. You know, what a cool form of
Oh, that would be
content.
nice, eh?
Because
That
you're
would be
learning
kind of cool.
yeah, it's not just their personal story, it's it's the story about their tattoo, right? Which is always that's cool content, right? You're learning about people's different tattoos. Why did they get, and then also how they want that tattoo on the shirt and why do they want to change it or why the colors would change and all that. That's kind of a cool, interesting.
We have a little
form of
interview
content.
series that we started last week. Actually, we've got another one this week where we're interviewing artists, people with tattoos, people that promote tattoos on Instagram through different ways, people who do not have tattoos but are big into them, whatever that means. So we interview a lot of people around the space, and it is very funny because people refer to their body parts in different ways. Like three girls have the same exact tattoo, and one says, "Oh, it's very subtle. It's an acute part of my body." One says, "Oh, it's near my flab," and one says, "It's just a tramp stamp." And it's like, wow, it's interesting to hear the three of you talk about it in different ways.
Yes.
Matching tattoo. And yes, some people got their tattoos decades ago, and other people want me to make a shirt while they're getting their tattoo simultaneously. So that's really cool. I try to stitch it. I work with the artist's artwork before it's a tattoo. And while the artist is tattooing it, I'm stitching it. And it takes a few hours each. So hopefully I finish the shirt by the time the tattoo is done. And and then you've got your tattoo wrapped up, but you can show everybody on the shirt. You can say, "Hey, check this out."
That's
it's healing, but I'll show you next week.
Yeah. I think that could be a cool little niche inside this business is a tattoo parlor that, gets someone that comes in and says, "I want this tattoo." They say, "Hey, yeah, that's awesome. We work with this company, this same design." I send it to them. They'll put it on a shirt for you, embroidered, custom made, Yeah. And they do it then, because then you get the picture. And that must be so much easier than someone taking photos. Yeah.
Easier, man. We always ask people, like, do you have the original artist stencil? And they say no. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, we'll try to recreate it through 3D photos. But yeah, the original stencil is great. And it's really fun to work with the artists because they see thousands of images. And they know how to work with them, right? They know how to handle shading. They know how to handle stuff on the elbow. And the elbow for me is very different because, it's flat. That's easy. Look at that. It's just a flat piece of fabric. But on the human, it's a lot, different. Whereas maybe the shoulder for them is quite easy, but for me, it's a nightmare. Shoulders are really, really hard for me because you've got three pieces of fabric.
I gotcha.
Different angles, all connecting, and you've got the thick fabric when it's stitched over itself. So if you have a really beautiful shoulder piece, it's going to take me a lot of effort, and I have to maybe tweak some of the stuff here so it doesn't have a lot of detail over these certain points. It's fun. It's fun to see how different the ink and the thread are.
Yeah, I see. A good way to start, though. A good way to push it in. Yeah, a good way to push it in the beginning is to advertise that, get the shirt before you get the tattoo, right? Because you've decided on the artwork. Get it first. That could be the part, right, where people like, oh, this is a cool tattoo. I have the artwork ready. Let me send it to this company so that I can wear it on a shirt for a little bit, before I get the tattoo done. Then the whole system is a lot quicker. Your targeting is more for that phase of a person's tattoo, let's say that their career in tattoos, you target the first part phase rather than the guy who's like, oh, I've had this tattoo for 20 years. And you're like, I'd really like it on a shirt now. You're like, oh, wow, that's, there's a good story there, I'm sure, but the work is so much harder than if you're like, oh, that young guy who's like, yeah, I've just, I left my mom's house. I'm living on my own. I'm starting to get buffed now. I'm hitting the gym. I want a big fucking dragon right on my chest. And he picks the picture he wants, and then he's like, no, first I'll get the and even going further, the targeting could be such where you're telling people, hey, for anyone there who wants to get a tattoo, get this first.
Yeah. This is actually quite surprising, man. I hear this a lot, and about the people who don't have the tattoo.
Yeah.
And I never even thought about that when I was starting this company. For me, it was people who already love their tattoos. They're the only ones who would buy a shirt. And I would say about half the people I talk to, almost half, say, oh, this would be a great idea for people who don't have tattoos. And I'm like, really? Okay, I guess. But I was just so surprised that somebody who doesn't have a tattoo would want to buy anything with the tattoo on it. But hey, maybe there's a whole group out there for that.
Yeah,
I do agree with you. We want to be focusing in the future on new tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Because we have the artwork. Also, you're making a decision. We're in that mindset where I want this. I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to select an artist. And that's where we want to be part of. We want to be part of that process, because it is easier, right? We even can work with the artist. If they're going to do something here, and we can suggest move it like 3 millimeters up so that you avoid the line, the seam down the shirt sleeve.
Ah, yes.
Like, hey, if you're going to get it here anyway, you might as well move it 3 millimeters. And they're like, yeah, we can move it 3 millimeters. Okay, let's do it. 3 millimeters. So that's kind of fun. Getting a tattoo based on how it's going to look on the shirt.
Yeah, that's good. I actually, for all the tattoos that I have planned, maybe I could do that. Because I'm going to, obviously, first the artwork comes, right? The designs. I snatch those designs and I just say, hey, can you make a shirt with just the outline of this? I want to see what it looks like. I just want to wear it and kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah.
It's like, but also it's a fashion product you're making. It's a statement. It's very much a fashion product. Very, very fashion.
No one's going to have this. No one's going to have your tattoos. Right.
Yeah.
And especially like this is a black shirt from Dickies. So it's like a work shirt. It's pretty strong, and you can get oil on it and, wash it out. No problem. And then shirts like this, they're a little bit more, decorative. They've got some paisleys. They've got the, the different patterns. I can't really see it there. The different pattern insides. But if you walk into a restaurant or a nightclub and you're wearing like a blue paisley shirt, maybe someone will have it, maybe something similar. But if the blue paisley shirt has silver tattoos stitched into it, no one's going to have that. Come on. And we can also do patches, right? Instead of stitching the image onto the shirt, I can just make a patch, maybe about like this size or however big the tattoo is, a thread patch that you can then put anywhere. You could put it on your backpack, right? You could put it on your jeans. You could put it on a scarf. You could put it on your wall, whatever. So maybe you have like a logo tattoo, like you and two best friends did something 10 years ago, and you have a little commemorative logo thing. You can get that logo on a patch, and you put it wherever you want, man. Like it's pretty cool, the flexibility we have to really kind of get these tattoos out in the open more. Because how many people are going to walk around on the bus taking their shirt off? Hey, what's up? Look at my tattoos. Oh, hey, how you doing? Let me take my shirt off. What I really like is we had a customer post last week. He's got a sleeve tattoo with like a tribal design that starts up here and it continues, and the shirt, of course, cuts off here. So he's got red thread on a black shirt, and then it continues as black ink on his skin. So you can see like the stitching stops at the end of the shirt, and then the tattoo on the skin continues. Looks so cool.
So cool.
You can definitely see it's a continuation, and you're like, whoa, what is that? Is that yours? Like, how did you get that shirt? Oh, it's custom made. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that was really fun. That took me a while, but it was really fun.
Nice.
And like I said, I just like creating something new because I'm so sick of this, like Ed Hardy. Okay, cool. Oh, you can get tattoos on a shirt. Someone else's tattoos. Like, why would I want someone else's tattoos?
How does that make any sense? Yeah.
Like, oh, and guess what? When I bought the Ed Hardy shirt, there were 12 more behind it in the same rack. That means there's 12 more people are going to come in and buy the same exact shirt. Okay. Is that the spirit of what we're going for here? Yeah. Do I just get a tattoo to look like 12 other people? No, I want mine. I want to create it. I want the artist to help create it. I want to put it somewhere for me. And then I have to buy an Ed Hardy shirt? No, I want to buy my shirt. I want to show people what I've put effort into, time, money, whatever. Like, it's my body, it's my shirt. Why not show it? And especially, they're in some weird places, right? Like this one, that's a strange place to have stitching. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. And so people will say like, hey, why do you have this? And you can just say like, boom.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yes.
And then they're kind of surprised. They're like, did you get the tattoo because of the shirts?
Or the shirt like, because of the tattoo? Yes. Yeah. It's so unique, man. It's really impressive. It's unique. So tell us what is the future for InSideOut Ink? What's the Ink Inside Out?
What's Inside Out? Yeah,
Inside Out. What's the future? Where are we going?
Well, I had a call 2 weeks ago with Russia. There are some folks in Moscow who might work with us. There are a lot of chain tattoo studios in Moscow. So instead of one shop, they may have 12 locations across the city. And they're thinking about maybe doing an exclusive deal inside Russia that says we don't sell any shirts in Russia unless it's with your shops. And that way we could have a physical space in the tattoo studios where we have an example shirt hanging on a mannequin. And we have a little QR code. And the thing about Russia is we could get tailors as well to be dispatched to the actual tattoo studios. So you're getting a new sleeve tattoo and the artist says, do you want a shirt? We work with a shirt company. And the guy says, yes. They call the tailor. The tailor gets a taxi to the tattoo studio right away and measures the guy. And so now boom, you send those to me in Amsterdam. I design the whole shirt and then I send it back to them and they can stitch it up. So that could be kind of cool. We start to have some cooperations with different studios around the world. I'm still doing all the artwork until I teach people how to do it properly. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited because as soon as a couple of artists start to like the results they're seeing from us, I think they're going to recommend it to more and more people. Like, hey, you got to try this, man. Like, get a sexy dark purple shirt with gold stitching, or get a black shirt with, orange stitching. Like, oh, it's going to look sick. Look at this last one we did. Yeah. And that's when the copycats start. So we're kind of enjoying this honeymoon periods where we're the only one and we're trying to convince people what it is. But as soon as people start to Google search tattoo shirts or my tattoos on a shirt, that's when it gets heavy. That's when we're going to have to really scale up. So
that's right. Yeah.
I'm excited, but I'm also nervous.
Yeah.
Also nervous.
But it's cool. It's a very unique thing it's such a great claim to fame, right? To create something so unique, so artistic, right? It's not like, oh yeah, I had a friend who did a business like that. You're never going to, it's like, shit, I didn't even know that this kind of business existed. Wow, you found a real cool niche here, right? It's a nice claim to fame, to build a business like this.
And I like to believe that this idea has been thought of before, but they tried it and it didn't work because it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of money that goes into these shirts. And I think for any large company, like a clothing company, it was just not worth it. And they said, forget it. Too small, too much energy, too much hassle. And for the independent people, maybe it was just too much labor and they needed to put food on the table for their families back in the 90s or 2000s. So competing against screen printed shirts that are $5 or $10, how are you going to make an embroidered shirt that's customized and all this detail with a tailor, with an embroidery machine, with expensive design software, with somebody who knows how to draw and do this stuff? It was like not worth it. So maybe I'm not the first person to have the idea, but I want to be the first person that actually makes it work so that we can offer the idea to the public. And that would be hugely satisfying. Because I think, you learn about the world and there's things you don't like and you try to fix them. And if you actually succeed, you feel like you've made the world a little bit more livable,
That's well said.
And what I'm doing doesn't save lives or anything, but it just makes me happier to be in a world where there's a guy in Scotland wearing his tattoos. There's a guy in America wearing his tattoos. There's a woman in the Netherlands, showing off her tattoos. We're doing babies now. We do matching baby shirts that have their parents' tattoos on them.
Oh, that's so cool.
You have like
that's very cool.
You have like a 2-year-old child with, of course, no tattoos, but the mother has a tattoo on her ribs, and so we'll do a matching top for the mother and the son, the rib tattoo, and it's cool, man. It's like family photos, and
there you go.
No other kid is gonna have that shirt at school or daycare. Like, nope, that's my mama's tattoo right there.
That's so cool, dude. Yeah, I like it. I mean, even since our last podcast when we talked about it and how it's growing, it's good. I'm going to keep an eye on it and make sure, you give us these updates as things grow. Russia, this is a big deal. Getting a deal like this with, potentially with stores and having tailors that can go in and get measurements. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get some updates with you over the next, over the year as this business grows and grows. It's exciting.
Yeah, I remember last year you were sending me your photos of your tattoos, and that was before we had the whole kind of production process streamlined. I was still hiring graphic designers under me to try to work on things to try to get the image prepped for the machine. And you kept getting like more tattoos. So you would send me like, oh, I have this one now as well. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And our guys couldn't do your left arm in a way that I was happy with. They kept making it I don't know, like a little bit here and there, and it didn't fit with the shoulder right. And I finally told him, look, I'll do this myself later when I know how to do it better. But I totaled up all of the money I'd spent on the different artists just on your tattoos, right? Just yours. And it was almost 800 euros.
Jesus.
So I was like, this can't be the right way to do this. Like, there must be a better way, you know. So your tattoos were actually a huge help in changing our whole production strategy, because we were going to use outsourced artists like this to take the photos and turn them into a black and white vector image. But after yours, we're like, no, it's not the way.
It's not the way to do it.
So that was pretty cool. You know, it's even when you fail, you win sometimes, because you learn something, you save yourself a lot of hassle. So my advice to people out there is, like, you know, go to our website, give us a shot. If you don't like what we're doing, don't buy it. You know, it's just an option, man. Like, it's up to you. It's your choice. But if you think it's really cool and you like the quote and you like the mock-up that I do, then let's go for it. Let's make something happen. Something that's not been possible your entire life. So, yeah, I'm stoked, man. And I can't wait to get your shirt right. I'll spend some time on it.
Nice, man.
I want to hand deliver it, though. I don't want to send it in the mail. I want to come back to China.
That's it.
Visa and
deal.
Hand deliver.
That'd be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it, dude. It's good to catch up and hear all that you're doing. It's good. I love the footage. In this video, I'm gonna obviously put in a bunch of photos and video that you sent. And also send me the website and your social and all of this, and I'll be sure to tag it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
This is good, man. Magical stuff. And it's also great to catch up with you, dude. I miss you. You should get your ass over here to China so we can hang.
I feel like we're in timeout, you know, like
I'm going to have to bounce. Thanks so much for the podcast and the updates and the hang. I dig it. And I'll see you when we get back to China.
Embroidery is a craft. Making a custom-made embroidered shirt is not a simple process, and that's why you are going to be heavily involved along the way. Just as a tattoo artist has to use their unique skills to take an image and turn it into a workable piece of art for your skin, these hands also have to take your tattoo and change it into a digitized, embroidery-ready image that's suitable for shirts. Our shirts are not cheap, but neither is your ink. You've already put time, effort, and money into the art on your body. Our shirts are an expression of that art. For tips on how to take better quality photos that'll help make the whole process go smoother, just scroll down. Yeah, it'll be down there. I'll get back to you, giving you a number of options for how you want your shirt to be. Do you want a hoodie? Do you want a tank top, long sleeve? What color? What size? What kind of thread would you like? We'll cover everything. Once I get your requirements, I'll get you a quote. Once you approve my final design, then the hard work for me begins. Every shirt we make is made right here in Amsterdam, with these two hands, actually. So let's work together in this process. Let's get you a unique article of clothing that's one of a kind. If you got any more questions, just let me know.